So we're going back through the last 4 years of footage.
You should start it too. Like, are you going to say, like, go there, do that? Or you just start with...
Hello, my name is Ethan with Go There, Do That. This is supposed to be the quick one, the quick social media one.
Okay.
So I can't start it out with the intro every time either.
This whole thing is going to be on social media?
It's going to be little clips.
Clips
of this will go on social media.
But not the whole thing.
The whole thing will go. The whole thing will go too if we can make it work.
Yeah, but
but this one's designed for the clippies that'll go alongside the footage, so it'll be fresh on our brains as we look at it.
All right.
And then we can go back through and like clip it. But then we're also going to have the podcast of us talking about this too.
Okay.
More in depth.
Okay.
So this is.
And I'll write blogs.
Yeah, okay. We're just trying to provide as much information as possible.
Okay.
So over the last 4 years, I've just been gathering footage of our trips, and I haven't really had time to go through it because we were camping every weekend, and I did have a full-time job, and so circumstances have now changed, and Heather and I will now go through all of our misadventures. And so we're starting with Bastrop, which is the first day trip ever that we decided to go on together, just to see if we liked being outside, I guess, in a state park.
Yeah, so this is our first time looking at this footage together. So Ethan basically spliced together a video from the footage, and now we're looking at it together. Oh, wow.
August 15th, 2020. Were you going to say something about Danny?
Yeah, I'm already like a little emotional because the first little clips have Danny. Danny passed away in February of 2023, so that's kind of cool to see her, you know, on the footage, but also like bittersweet. But I'm glad that she was around to experience some of our adventures, although she didn't go on this one.
No, it was too hot.
Yeah. Well, it's the thought that counts, right?
I guess that was you commenting on the footage.
Yeah, that's something that's like a theme in a lot of our adventures, especially in the beginning, is me trying to help with the camera stuff because I don't want to drive, but also, hi Cece, but also me not really knowing how to work a camera very well.
We didn't have time for a crash course.
And pass by a Buc-ee's.
Is that Buc-ee's at Bastrop?
Sorry.
And there's me commenting again. I think I looked over and saw that it was a little bit shaky and zoomed out.
Yeah, and I have an attitude already.
Today?
Yeah, they had the heat advisory sign. It said it was 105 that day, and it's just saying drink plenty of water. I remember it being very hot.
Yeah,
that day.
It was very hot, and Bastrop has had wildfires in the past, and so a lot of the big pine trees are burned, especially in the place that we were hiking at first. I just remember there was no shade, no safety from the sun.
Ah, Langford. There she is. Well, that's nice.
Did they have all of those tags up because it was COVID? Or
It was definitely because of COVID. So, yeah, they don't do that now. If we just got a day pass, they're not going to have... Because it was also, when we went, it's not like it was that late, because a lot of times the state park offices close at 4 or 5 or whatever. But we were definitely there before 4 or 5. So I'm pretty sure it was just because it was COVID. So, you weren't going to go into the office. So you just got your tag from there. But I remember thinking that that's like how it worked because that was like our first experience. So then like later on, I'm like, why am I having to go to the office to get my tags like the next morning? I also did not know where to put the tag, apparently.
I'm not even going to lose any of my footage.
We used to do weddings a lot, and there was a wedding where you went with me, and I didn't use any of your footage that you got.
Yeah.
And so that's what that's in reference
Probably
to.
more than one wedding, but yes.
At least one. But that's what we're joking about. But I used your footage in this video.
You didn't have much of a choice, did you?
Nope. So I use the music to emphasize that these are our first steps that we've taken on that was our first trip together. So these are literally our first steps that we are taking on our first trail. So pretty meaningful as we are looking back at everything. And then I have the little thoughts that I have as I'm editing because, yeah, looking back at us, we didn't know where we were going. We only knew what we saw and didn't know what it meant. Do we know what it means now?
I think I would say I'm probably still working on like what it all means, but I know that this particular, adventure was like the mark of us like basically starting to, I don't know, come alive again in a way. Like it very much felt like a lifeline in like this like weird time period, August of 2020, COVID was pretty alive and well. That was a weird way to put it. It was big at that point, and like just the world around us was so weird and crazy. And yeah, August 15th, 2020, I was probably getting ready to start teaching virtually, like the upcoming school year, like it was going to start virtually. So like that was weird. And so this was in a lot of ways like an escape, a lifeline, a reason to keep going. 'Cause yeah, things were kind of like weird and dark, and we have trouble sitting in like weird and dark things, so we tend to come up with like things to get us out of it. So yeah, that's kind of how I see Bastrop, I guess. Your words are lining up with like the shots.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
What was the focus? Yeah. Within this ignited world. Ignited world reference to the craziness of COVID, I think.
I think, yeah.
But why was it so significant? The question is, maybe these memories persist through a trust that our present selves will one day build a bridge back to them. And then I'm clever because I am showing a bridge there. But to get deeper, that's what you should never forget is like where you come from in your past. Like there's no part of yourself that isn't making up who you are. Like nothing that you ever did isn't like, you can't just disregard any piece of something that happened to you because all of it defines you.
Yeah. You don't have to dwell on it, but
yeah, but it all is just a bridge straight back to
well, straight forward.
Yeah. And I don't know what you were stopping for, but I do believe I just caught the first pause. What does that mean? What is that? I haven't asked you. What's this pause
Yeah,
you're doing?
I think, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly where this was, but I know there is like a spot in the trees where you can see, I mean, it's like a lot of new growth pine trees, so like beautiful, but then you have all these like burned pine trees, they're all like crisp so it's like these new growing pine trees amongst all these like previously burned pine trees, and it's kind of like this eerie look. And then in Bastrop there's this like water tower with a little smiley face on it, which is like, I remember seeing that. I don't know if it's this moment right here, but if I had to guess, probably, because I do remember pausing for that and just like recognizing that was just like a cool little something to see, and it kind of impacted me. So why not take a little pause?
So nature, despite burning down completely, there's still like, there's always a chance for something to grow out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's little smiley face.
I don't know if I was thinking that
Through it all.
deeply about it, but...
Well, that's interesting.
But that's actually like a really, the smiley face through it all, yeah.
Here we are still talking about it.
I do remember sitting at that spot at sunset. And like this was our first time, because you were like, hey, I kind of have this idea and we're going to like maybe we could visit all these state parks and, blah, blah, blah. And this was like the first, like I kind of took that and ran with it. And this was the first thing I could book. I couldn't get before we booked camping, I was like, let's just like do a day trip, because Bastrop is like an hour away. And then like from this moment, watching the sunset with the pine trees and the smiley face, like I just remember knowing that I wanted to keep doing that as much as possible, because it was like, I don't know, like we don't always take the time to sit and watch the sunset in regular life, and I just remember it being very impactful. Yeah, made us want more of something. Yep. No more nothing days. Yeah, and like I used to call those like vegetable days.
Yeah, nothing days.
Yeah.
Why no more of those?
Because they weren't making me like feel good. Like we were kind of at a period in our lives where it felt like things were moving really fast and then also so slow at the same time, because COVID. I don't know, it just felt like we were using the weekends to just like recover from life, basically. And then with that weekend, we were just like vegetating, because we didn't have the energy for anything else truly. Or you feel like you're like harboring energy because you know what's coming, in the coming weeks or whatever. And so I think this was like a moment where we really decided to maybe, push ourselves out of our comfort zone and not like rest as much, but still, I didn't know it at this point, but like in doing these things, feel so much more rested. Like your soul feels like rested after that. But like, yeah, when we were just like vegetating, doing nothing, just like getting ready for the next week, it just like didn't feel good. It literally felt like I was rotting away. And I don't think I realized that I felt that way, really.
You can feel tired from being tired?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. That's our first one. Easy enough.
Oh, man. Okay. That's crazy. Like the very first one. I mean, yeah. I'm going to need a minute.
Well, tune in next time. We're going to be doing Inks Lake, our first overnight camping trip. Thanks for watching. Go there, do that. How's that? That was easy.
Yeah, it felt a little messy, but
Hey.
will you edit it some?
This will be
Okay,
edited.
good.